be me. 22-year-old college senior studying computer science, 5'8", average build, wear glasses, pretty much invisible to women. Have never had a real girlfriend despite multiple attempts. Spend most of my time coding, playing video games, and watching anime. Live in dorm with roommate Chad, who gets more action in a week than I've had in my life. Anyway, it's spring semester, and I'm just trying to survive until graduation. There's this girl in my algorithms class named Madison. She's like an 8 out of 10, blonde hair, perfect smile, popular sorority type. Sits in front of me every Tuesday and Thursday. I've had a crush on her since the semester started, but never said anything. She's way out of my league and probably doesn't even know I exist. One day after Thursday's class, I overhear her talking to her sorority sisters. There's Madison, her best friend Riley, and this other girl named Brittany. They're standing by the coffee cart gossiping like usual. "I'm so broke, you guys. My dad cut off my credit card again," Madison says. Riley laughs. "Maybe you should have thought of that before buying 5 new dresses last weekend." "I need money fast, like $200, Madison continues. Brittany gets this evil smile on her face. "I have an idea, Mad, but you're not going to like it." Madison raises her eyebrow. "I'm listening." "You know that nerdy guy who sits behind you in algorithms?" Brittany points in my direction. I pretend to be looking at my phone, but I'm definitely listening. "The one with the glasses who always smells like energy drinks," Riley adds. "Hey, that's just one time I spilled Monster on my hoodie." "What about him?" Madison asks. Brittany leans in conspiratorially. "I bet you $200 you can't get him to fall in love with you." Madison laughs. "That's the dumbest bet ever, Britt. That would be so easy." "Easy money then," Brittany smirks. "But there are rules." "What kind of rules?" Riley asks, now interested. "You have to make him genuinely believe you're into him," Brittany explains. "Like full girlfriend experience, dates, hand-holding, maybe even kissing." Madison makes a disgusted face. "You, Brittany, that's so mean." "It's $200, Madison, and it's not like you have to sleep with him," Riley points out. "Plus, nerdy guys are probably terrible at kissing anyway," Brittany adds. They all laugh while my heart sinks into my stomach. "How long do I have to keep this up?" Madison asks. "Until he says he loves you," Brittany says. "Could take weeks, could take months. Depends how desperate he is." "If he says those 3 words, you win the bet." Madison thinks for a moment. "What if he doesn't fall for it?" "Then you owe me $200. Brittany grins. "And you have to do my sociology homework for the rest of the semester." Riley claps her hands. "This is going to be so entertaining." Madison looks over at me and I quickly look away. "Fine, deal," she says, and shakes Brittany's hand, "but I'm not doing anything too gross." "Just enough to make him think you're his dream girlfriend," Brittany says. "Should be easy with how desperate he looks," Riley adds. They all laugh again and walk away. I'm sitting there in complete shock. Part of me is devastated that they think I'm such a loser, but another part is curious to see how this plays out. I decide not to say anything and just see what happens. Next class, Madison sits in her usual spot, but this time she turns around before lecture starts. "Hey, you're in my algorithms class, right?" she says with a bright smile. I nearly choke on my coffee. Yeah, I sit behind you every day." "I'm Madison. I don't think we've formally met." "I'm Anon," I managed to stammer out. "Nice to meet you, Anon," she says sweetly. "I was wondering if you could help me with the homework. I'm really struggling with the recursive functions." This is obviously part of her plan, but I play along. "Sure, I could help you study if you want." Her face lights up. "Really? That would be amazing." "Want to meet at the library after class? I can't believe this is happening." "Yeah, that works." After class, we walk to the library together. Madison is being super friendly and attentive, asking me about my major, my hobbies, acting interested in everything I say. We find a quiet table and I start explaining the homework. "You're really smart, Anon," she says, touching my arm. "I wish I was better at this stuff like you." I'm trying to stay focused, but she smells amazing, like vanilla and strawberries. "It just takes practice," I tell her. "You're doing fine." We work through several problems together. Madison keeps asking questions and laughing at my jokes, even the ones that aren't funny. "You're really funny, Anon," she says. "I never noticed before. Because you never talked to me before, Madison." After an hour, she closes her textbook. "Thanks so much for helping me," she says. "Want to grab dinner together?" "My treat." I must look shocked because she laughs. Come on, it's the least I can do after you helped me." We go to the campus dining hall. Madison insists on paying even though I offer. "A deal is a deal," she says with a wink. We talk for 2 hours over pizza and breadsticks. She's asking me all kinds of personal questions. About my family, my dreams, my favorite movies. I love that you're so passionate about programming, she says. Most guys just talk about sports or partying. You're different, Anon, in a good way. I'm starting to forget this is all fake. She's being so sweet and genuine, or at least she's a really good actress. She walks me back to my dorm building. I had a really great time tonight, she says. Maybe we could do this again sometime. I'd like that. I tell her honestly. She gives me a hug goodbye. It's just a friendly hug, but it's the most physical contact I've had with a girl in months. I float up to my room feeling like I'm in a dream. Chad is there playing video games. Dude, why do you look so happy? He asks. Did you finally beat that boss in Dark Souls? Something like that. I tell him I don't mention Madison because I don't want to jinx it. Next class, Madison saves me a seat next to her. She's wearing this cute sundress that brings out her eyes. Hey, study buddy, she says cheerfully. During lecture, she passes me little notes. This professor is so boring. Want to get coffee after class? You look nice today. I write back, thanks, so do you. She smiles and writes, flatterer. After class, we get coffee at the student union. Madison orders some complicated drink with extra foam. I just get black coffee because I'm cheap. You know, I was thinking, she says, stirring her latte. There's this new movie playing at the theater downtown. Want to see it with me Friday night? Is Madison asking me on a date? Like a date? I ask stupidly. She laughs. Yes, Anon, like a date. Unless you don't want to. No, I definitely want to, I say quickly. Great, it's a date then. She says she reaches over and squeezes my hand. Her skin is so soft I almost forget how to breathe. Friday comes and I'm nervous as hell. I shower twice and change clothes 4 times, settle on khakis and a button-down shirt. Chad gives me a pep talk. Just be yourself, man. Don't overthink it. Easy for him to say. He doesn't overthink anything. I meet Madison at the theater. She looks incredible in jeans and a sweater. You clean up nice, she says, linking her arm through mine. The movie is some romantic comedy I've never heard of, but Madison seems excited about it. We get popcorn and candy to share. During the movie, she keeps laughing at the jokes and leaning against me during the emotional parts. At one point, she grabs my arm during a suspenseful scene. Sorry, she whispers. I get scared easily. I don't mind at all, Madison. After the movie, we walk around downtown, talking about the plot and the actors. The male lead reminded me of you, she says. How so? Sweet, genuine, good-hearted, she explains. The kind of guy who would do anything for someone he cares about. We stop at this little ice cream shop. Madison orders mint chip. I get vanilla. Vanilla is so boring, Anon, she teases. I like simple things. I tell her, there's nothing wrong with simple, she says softly. Sometimes simple is perfect. We sit on a bench outside eating our ice cream. Madison shivers a little in the night air. I offer her my jacket without thinking. Thanks, she says, putting it on. You're such a gentleman. We talk until the shop closes, about everything and nothing. Our childhoods, our fears, our stupid college stories. Madison tells me about growing up with 3 brothers. They taught me how to throw a football and change a tire. But they also taught me what to look for in a good guy. What's that, I ask. Someone who treats people with kindness, she says. Someone who doesn't try to be something they're not. Someone genuine. She's looking right at me when she says this. I walk her back to her sorority house. We stop at the front steps. I had an amazing time tonight, Anon, she says. Me too. I tell her. She steps closer to me. Can I ask you something? Sure. Do you think less of me for asking you out? What do you mean? I know it's usually the guy who's supposed to make the first move. I shake my head. I think you're brave for going after what you want. She smiles. I'm glad I asked. Then before I can process what's happening, she kisses me. It's soft and sweet and tastes like mint chip ice cream. Lasts maybe 3 seconds, but feels like forever. Good night, Anon, she says and goes inside. I stand there for 10 minutes, just replaying the kiss. Walk back to my dorm in a complete daze. Chad is still awake when I get back. Holy shit, dude. Did you actually go on a date? How can you tell? You have lip gloss on your cheek and you look like you've seen heaven. I tell him about Madison and our date. Leave out the part about overhearing the bet. Bro, this is huge, Chad says. Madison Summers went out with you. You know her. Everyone knows Madison. She's like sorority royalty. And she kissed you on the first date. She must really like you, man. If only he knew the truth. Over the next few weeks, Madison and I hang out constantly. Study sessions that turn into long conversations. Coffee dates between classes. She starts texting me good morning and good night, sends me memes throughout the day, always finds excuses to touch my arm or fix my hair. I love how soft your hands are, she says one day. While we're studying, most guys have rough, calloused hands. I don't do much manual labor, I admit. Good, she says, interlacing our fingers. I like them exactly how they are. Thursday after algorithms class, I see Madison talking to Brittany and Riley again. They're standing in the same spot as before. I pretend to tie my shoe so I can listen. So, how's Operation Nerd Boy going? Brittany asks Madison, looks uncomfortable. It's going fine. Has he said the magic words yet? Riley wants to know. Not yet, but I think he's close. Madison says quietly, well, don't take forever. Brittany says, I'm starting to think this bet was too easy for you. Maybe I should have made it more challenging. Like what? Riley asks. I don't know, make him your boyfriend or something. Brittany smirks. Madison doesn't laugh with them this time. I should get to class, she says and walks away. I notice she seems different after that conversation. Still sweet, but sometimes I catch her looking distant, like she's wrestling with something in her head. We're studying together the next week when she suddenly closes her textbook. Anon, can I ask you something? Of course. Do you think I'm a good person? Weird question, Madison. Of course you are. Why would you ask that? She looks down at her hands. Sometimes I do things that seem like a good idea at the time, but then I realize they might hurt people I care about. Everyone makes mistakes, Madison. But what if the mistake is really big, she asks. And what if it involves someone who doesn't deserve to be hurt? I reach over and take her hand. Then you tell them the truth and hope they can forgive you. She looks up at me with tears in her eyes. What if they hate you after? If they really care about you, they won't. She nods but still looks troubled. Madison, is everything okay? Yeah, she says quickly, wiping her eyes. I'm just stressed about graduation and stuff. I know that's not the whole truth, but I don't push it. 2 weeks later, we're sitting in the campus quad after our last algorithms exam. Madison has been quiet all day. Anon, she says suddenly, I need to tell you something important. My heart starts racing because I know what's coming. This whole thing between us, she continues, it didn't start the way you think it did. She takes a shaky breath. My friends made a bet that I couldn't get you to fall for me. It was supposed to be a stupid joke for $200. She's crying now. I was supposed to make you say you loved me and then laugh about it. But I can't do it anymore, Anon. Because somewhere along the way, I actually fell for you. And now I'm in love with someone who probably hates me. I sit there for a moment, letting her cry. Madison, I say softly, I know. She stops crying and looks at me confused. What? I said I know, Madison. I overheard you and your friends making the bet that first day. Her mouth falls open. You knew this whole time. Yeah. Then why did you go along with it? I shrug. I figured it was my only chance to spend time with you, even if it started as a game. Plus, I wanted to see if the real you was as amazing as I hoped. Madison stares at me in disbelief. So you've been pretending too? Not exactly, I say. My feelings were real, Madison. Even knowing it was all an act at first. I still fell for you anyway. She starts crying again, but this time she's smiling. God, we're both such idiots. Speak for yourself, I joke. She laughs through her tears. How can you joke right now? How are you not furious with me? I was hurt at first, I admit, but then I got to know the real you. The girl who worried about hurting my feelings. The girl who made terrible jokes and ate ice cream for breakfast. That wasn't fake Madison, that was you. She throws her arms around me. I love you, Anon. I love you so much and I'm so sorry. I love you too, Madison. I tell her, all of you, even the parts that make stupid bets. We hold each other on that bench for a long time. What happens now? She asks eventually. Now you lose the bet. I point out. She laughs. Worth it. Besides, technically, you never got me to say it first. So Brittany wins either way. I don't care about Brittany. Madison says, I care about you. And I want to spend whatever time we have left in college being your actual girlfriend, not your fake one. I kiss her right there in the quad, and this kiss is different from all the others. No pretense, no acting, just real emotion. So I say when we break apart, want to go get some real ice cream. Not vanilla this time. She grins. I thought you liked simple. Maybe it's time I tried something different. Good, she says, taking my hand, because I have a lot of flavors to show you. We walk off campus together, toward the ice cream shop where we had our first real conversation. Madison squeezes my hand. "Thank you," she says. "For what?" "For seeing me," she says, "the real me under all the stupid sorority girl stuff. Thank you for letting me see her." And that's how the girl who pretended to love me for $200 became the girl who actually loved me for free. Turns out the best things in life really do start with the worst ideas. Be me, watching from the shadows again. 21 years old, no friends, barely speak to anyone. Spend my days observing other people live the life I'll never have. Smoke menthols behind the library and contemplate existence. Wear the same black hoodie every day, haven't washed it in weeks. Smell like cigarettes and depression. Live in the basement of the engineering building where no one goes. Janitor thinks I'm a grad student, never questions why I'm always there. Anyway, there's this guy I've been watching, Anon from the CS program. Lives in Morrison Hall, room 314 with some Chad roommate. I know because I've followed them home multiple times. Not in a gay way, just fascinated by normal people. Anon represents everything I failed to become: average looking, but somehow functional. Has conversations with people without sweating. Attends classes regularly instead of skipping to smoke behind dumpsters. One day, I'm in my usual spot in the back of algorithms class. Professor doesn't even know I'm enrolled. I just sit there and watch the social dynamics. Anon sits behind this blonde sorority princess, Madison. She's laughing with her friends by the coffee cart after class. I recognize them, Riley and Brittany. They're the type who wouldn't piss on me if I was on fire, but I listen anyway because I have nothing better to do. I bet you $200 you can't get him to fall in love with you. They're talking about Anon, pointing at him while he pretends to check his phone. Brilliant move, Anon. I use that trick too. Madison agrees to the bet. My first thought is how easy some people have it. Girl bets she can make guy fall for her. Meanwhile, I can't get a cashier to make eye contact. I follow Anon back to his dorm. Not creepy following, just walking behind at a distance. He seems excited about something. Probably the attention from Madison. Must be nice to matter to someone, even if it's fake attention. I smoke half a pack while sitting on the bench across from Morrison Hall, watching windows light up as people return from classes. Normal people doing normal people things. Cooking ramen, video calling parents, having friends over. Anon's window's on the 3rd floor. Sometimes I see him and Chad playing games or studying. Chad brings girls over sometimes. They laugh loudly enough that I can hear from outside. The sound makes me want to die. Next day, Madison starts her operation. I'm there when she turns around to talk to Anon before class. Watching from 6 rows back. She's playing her part perfectly. Sweet smile, interested questions, touching his arm. Anon is eating it up like every lonely guy would, including me if I was in his position. But I'm not in his position. I'm in my position, which is watching other people get what I want. They go to the library together after class. I follow but keep my distance. Find a corner where I can observe without being noticed. Madison is asking him to explain algorithms. She's not stupid, probably understands it better than he does. But she plays dumb and lets him feel smart. Classic female manipulation. Anon doesn't see it because he doesn't want to see it. Desperation makes you blind. They seem to be having fun though. Laughing at inside jokes, sharing food. I eat my dinner alone in the basement every night. Usually just vending machine chips and energy drinks. Sometimes I forget to eat for days. Food requires effort and I'm running low on effort. I follow them to the campus dining hall. Sit 3 tables away behind a pillar. They talk for 2 hours. I listen to my music and chain smoke outside afterward, wondering what it would be like to have someone want to hear your stories. Anon walks back to his dorm like he's floating, while I walk back to my basement hideout. We're living in parallel dimensions. His keeps getting better. Mine stays the same level of shit. Over the next few weeks, I document their fake relationship. Not like a creep with photos or anything. Just mental notes about human behavior. How Madison gradually increases physical contact. How Anon's confidence grows with each interaction. How they develop routines and inside jokes. It's like watching a nature documentary about a species I'll never belong to. One day I'm smoking behind the student union. Chad walks by talking on his phone. Yeah, dude, Anon is like a different person now. Madison really changed him. He actually talks to people. Who would have thought my nerdy roommate would land sorority royalty? I stub out my cigarette and follow Chad, not because I care about him specifically, but because he's connected to Anon's story. Chad goes into GameStop at the mall. I pretend to browse while listening to him talk to the employee. My roommate just started dating this amazing girl, trying to find a game we can all play together. Something not too nerdy that won't scare her off. The employee suggests some party games. Chad buys 3 of them, spending money on social activities. Must be nice to have friends worth buying things for. I steal a pack of cigarettes and leave, not because I can't afford them, but because taking things that aren't mine is the only control I have. That night I watch Anon's window from my bench, see shadows moving around, hear laughter. They're probably playing those games Chad bought, having the kind of college experience I see in movies. I light another cigarette and think about walking into traffic, but even that seems like too much effort. Madison and Anon go on their first official date, movie theater downtown. I buy a ticket to the same showing. Sit in the back row watching them more than the screen. They share popcorn and she leans against him during emotional parts. Classic manipulation, but Anon looks genuinely happy. After the movie, they walk around downtown. I follow from across the street. They get ice cream and sit on a bench talking. She shivers, and he gives her his jacket. Textbook romantic gesture. I'm wearing 3 layers and still cold because I don't eat enough. They kiss goodnight at her sorority house, soft and sweet like a Hallmark movie. I throw up in an alley 20 minutes later, not because of the kiss specifically, just because existence tastes like bile lately. The next few weeks blur together. Madison and Anon become inseparable, holding hands between classes, texting constantly, looking at each other like they invented love. I keep watching because it's better than staring at my basement ceiling. Sometimes Chad appears in the narrative, giving Anon dating advice. Just be yourself, man. She obviously likes you. If only it was that simple, Chad. Being yourself only works if yourself is worth liking. One afternoon, I'm in my usual observation spot. Overhear Madison talking to Brittany and Riley again. Has he said the magic words yet? Not yet, but I think he's close. Well, don't take forever. Madison looks uncomfortable during this conversation, like she's having second thoughts about the bet. Too little, too late, princess. You already set this in motion. I wonder if Anon knows it's all fake. Probably not. People believe what they want to believe, especially when they're desperate for connection. Unlike me, who assumes everything is fake by default, saves disappointment. I start seeing less of them around campus. They're probably spending time in private now, doing couple things in dorm rooms and apartments. While I continue my routine of classes I don't participate in, meals I eat alone, nights I spend smoking and contemplating the void. One day I see Chad at the campus bookstore. He's buying flowers and a card. Anniversary gift for my roommate's girl, he tells the cashier. They've been together like a month, but he's already whipped. Anniversary after 1 month. Must be nice to have milestones worth celebrating. My anniversary is with loneliness, and it's been going strong for years. I follow Chad back toward Morrison Hall. He seems genuinely happy for Anon, talking to random people about his roommate's success story. Dude, you should see them together. It's disgusting how cute they are. Some people get friends who celebrate their victories. I get imaginary conversations with my reflection. Later that week, I'm smoking behind the library. Overhear 2 girls talking about Madison. She's been acting so weird lately. Ever since she started dating that computer nerd. I think she actually likes him now. That's impossible, it's just a bet. No, seriously, look at how she looks at him. So Madison is catching real feelings. Plot twist in the romantic comedy. Meanwhile, I'm the background character who dies alone. I decide to observe their next interaction. Want to see if the girls are right. Find them studying in the library. Madison keeps staring at Anon when he's not looking. Not the calculating stare of someone running a con. The soft stare of someone who's surprised by their own emotions. She reaches over to fix his hair. Completely unnecessary gesture. He smiles at her like she just saved his life. I have to leave before I do something stupid, like scream or cry or both. Outside, I chain smoke until my lungs burn, thinking about how some people get redemption arcs, while others get stuck in the same chapter forever. That night, I sit on my bench watching Anon's window. No movement, lights off early. Probably staying at Madison's sorority house, experiencing intimacy I'll never understand. I smoke my last cigarette and consider buying more, but my meal plan money is running out. Have to choose between food and cigarettes. Cigarettes it is. A few days later, I see them in the quad, sitting on a bench having what looks like a serious conversation. Madison is crying. Anon is holding her hands. Looks like confession time. The bet is coming to light. This should be interesting. I move closer, pretending to read while listening. Madison tells him about the bet, how it started as a joke for money, how she fell for him anyway. Anon admits he knew all along, still chose to go along with it. They kiss and make up like this is a movie. Happy ending for everyone except the audience, which is me. Standing there watching other people get their fairy tale romance, while I can't even get a text back from my dealer. They walk away hand in hand, talking about being real girlfriend and boyfriend now, instead of fake ones. I sit on their bench after they leave, still warm from their bodies, light my second to last cigarette. Think about how some people get to turn their lies into truth, while others can't even make the truth interesting enough to matter. Madison gets her redemption. Anon gets his dream girl. Chad gets to be the supportive best friend, and I get to be the guy who watched it all happen. From the shadows. Where I belong, where I'll always belong. Finish my cigarette and head back to the basement. Tomorrow I'll find new people to observe. New lives to envy from a distance, because that's what I do. I watch other people live, while I slowly stop existing. The girl who pretended to love him got her happy ending. The guy who never pretended anything got nothing, as usual.